Hi and welcome to my kitchen. I really like brownies and I've always been in search of the perfect brownie recipe. But I also like dark chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate. And I like a brownie recipe not to be overly sweet. I also like it to be very dark and rich and fudgy. So after searching and searching, I just decided to develop my own. So I have developed a recipe that I'd like to share with you now for beautiful, perfect, semi-sweet, rich, fudgy, dark chocolate brownies.
Before you begin, make sure to preheat your oven to 325 degrees.
Okay, a quick word about ingredients. I like to start with 100% cacao, unsweetened chocolate. I like Ghirardelli. They're not sponsoring me or anything, and I'm not endorsing them, but that's just the chocolate that I like to use. It really doesn't matter what you use, just as long as it's unsweetened baking chocolate. 4 ounces is what you want to start with.
We'll begin this recipe with a stick of salted butter. Cut into pieces and place in a microwave-safe bowl. A 4-cup measure works great. Unwrap your chocolate and break it into pieces into the bowl on top of the butter. Microwave this on high power for 1 minute. Remove from the microwave and stir until all of the chocolate is melted. For extra chocolate flavor, I am including 2 tablespoons of cocoa. Add the cocoa to the chocolate and butter mixture and stir until smooth. The cocoa is really an optional step, but I really think it enhances the flavor of the brownies and makes them very rich and dark. When it's nice and smooth, set this mixture aside to cool. Now take 3 eggs and crack them into a medium-sized bowl. Add 1 cup of sugar and mix with a hand mixer. Start on low speed and gradually increase to high. Now add a teaspoon of vanilla. And blend at low speed to combine. Now pour in your chocolate mixture and stir in by hand. Use a light touch at this point and really fold it in gently. Basically, you're trying to keep all of those air bubbles in that mixture from collapsing, because you want as much leavening as possible. This is totally optional, but at this point I like to add 2 to 4 tablespoons of strong coffee for an even richer tasting brownie. And fold it in. At this point we're going to take 1 cup of flour and sift it down into this mixture. We do this because we want to make this flour as fluffy as possible and again incorporate as much air as possible into this mixture before we bake it. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're not using any other leaveners at this point other than eggs and air. Again, folding in gently here is key. Just keep working it until all of that flour is mixed in and it's nice and dark. Now grease an 8x8 baking pan with a little bit of baking spray and pour in your beautiful, gorgeous brownie batter. Push the brownie batter into the corners of the pan and smooth out the batter as best as you can. It'll be a little bit lumpy, but just do your best.
Okay, it's ready to go in the oven. Here's a tip. If you want this thing to bake more evenly and not have the edges and the sides get so hard, put it on a baking tray, and that will help to even things out. Another quick word, if you're using a glass dish, it will take longer to bake. 30 minutes is what we're going to bake this for, and if you use a metal dish, probably about 25. Bakes faster in a metal pan. All right, into the oven it goes. Okay, time's up and it's time to check this thing. I'm just going to use a standard, cake tester here. And it's critical not to overbake this thing, so I'm just going to give it a quick check right here in the center. It's okay if it's a little bit wet. I may let this go maybe just another minute or 2, but basically just use your judgment. You want it to be just a tiny bit wet in the center, and then we're going to take it out and we're going to let it cool completely.
Here's what it looks like when it's done. Resist the urge to cut this right now. Again, wait until it is completely cool and then cut it into beautiful squares and serve. Look down in the comments section of this video for the full recipe. And follow me on Twitter @NatesKitchen207.